Exciting.
It is exciting. We are going live, and we're live. Oh my goodness.
Exciting.
Exciting.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
I
have you
see
got
the
it?
background. I love
It's
it.
got it. They're taking a selfie.
Was that in the movie, or was that?
I think it was. I think there's a very brief shot when that's kind of in the movie.
Nice, because that phone was very precious in the movie.
Oh yeah,
We
it was
don't
very important.
want to use up the battery, am I right?
Yeah, exactly. Hello, people. Thank you for tuning in. I'm just with my very dear friend Beth Mance. She's right here.
Hello.
Yeah. This is a sort of an impromptu one. We're just kind of haven't seen each other for a while, and I was saying obviously I'm doing these film clubs recently. I've been doing these live streams. So I asked Beth what her favourite movies are, if there's any movies she'd like to talk about, and this happened to be one of them, Swiss Army Man, which we watched again recently and forgot how surreal it is.
Yeah, it's quite an experience.
Yeah, it's I think it's a wonderful film though. I remember when I watched it the first time thinking there's something about it. It's just very freeing and kind of feel good about it. And yeah, I just kind of loved it. And I felt the same way watching it a second time as well.
Yeah. Agreed.
Spiritual Demon, hello, welcome in.
Hello, Spiritual Demon. I know your real name, but I won't say it.
She knows.
Nice to know you.
Nice to know you.
Thanks.
Yeah, so I don't know whether to. We could start set. What? Beth, she says.
Wait, where?
Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
That's come through. What a legend.
What a legend. Beth, what have you been watching recently? Have you been watching anything else recently in particular? Series or whatever?
Oh, you know what? I have actually been watching one which I haven't been able to finish. I'm like 3 episodes from the end. Wait, let me just... Okay, so I was watching One Division.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good one to mention because it was just really solid. I cried a lot. I don't think I've ever cried that much about a series. But it was just like good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then another one which I've been loving, which I was not expecting, is Anne with an E.
Oh, I've not heard of that one.
So it's based on an older TV series called Anne at Green Gables, I think, and it's basically about a girl who is an orphan, and then she gets accidentally adopted as a farmhand in where is it? It's in Canada. It's an island in Canada. I think it's called Prince Edward's Island. And then they realise they actually want to keep her, even though she's not a farmhand or whatever. And then they adopt her, and then it's about her story of integrating into that kind of community. And again, I cried a lot, but it's like top stuff. Great storytelling. Some like really good, brings up some really good stuff on like equality and all of that sort of stuff. Which I thought was really, they did it really well.
Yeah.
In a way that was enjoyable, but making a really solid point. So I was like, this is top stuff.
Oh, sweet.
But yeah, those have been the main ones. Awesome. But I've been at uni, so like I haven't really had much time because I'm a bit of like a people person. So
yeah. Oh. Yeah, it's hard, isn't it, to balance kind of. I've been struggling with that. I was funnily enough, talking with Spiritual Demon. I still need to get through Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I'm just being really, really slacking with it. I need to catch up with it, so we can talk about it a bit more. So what's Anne with an E? What's that on? Is it on any streaming services or?
It's on Netflix.
Netflix.
There's 3 series, and I think they're trying to get a series 4, but because it's about a little girl, like what is she? She's probably like 11 or 12 when she gets adopted, and then her journey through teenage years. Like it doesn't really have much of like an audience within. I think they said the 25 to 50 age range, and so they cut it out. Netflix cut it, but there's been like loads of people being like, no, we want to, like, don't cut it now. Like they didn't finish it, and it's like one of the few things on Netflix that is like wholesome, has it like genuine points it wants to make about society and that sort of stuff, which is like really necessary for young people to hear, and like being represented in that as well. So yeah, I could get a little bit fired up about it.
Yeah, that sounds really good. That sounds awesome. And WandaVision, I still haven't watched WandaVision either.
You haven't?
I know. I call myself a Marvel fan.
Yeah. What? So I take it you've probably been watching Falcon and the
Winter Soldier. That's it. Yeah. No, I haven't watched that either. The last Marvel thing I watched, I think, like chronologically, was probably Endgame. Has there been one since Endgame?
Oh my gosh.
Yes, Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
Far From Home, and then.
Seen that? Wait, has that come out yet? No.
The second one.
Where he gets the glasses.
Yes. Yeah.
I have seen that.
And becomes the night monkey. They refer to him as the night monkey in it.
I am.
Yeah. But I am severely behind on Marvel stuff, though. I'm a bit ashamed, really.
You should be. No. You take your time. You take whatever time you want.
Thank you. Wee Home, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining, my dear. How the devil are you? Doing pretty all right. Oh, good. That's good to answered my question straight away there.
That was speedy.
Speedy. Yes, I do need to hurry up and finish Buffy, Demon. I'm sorry about that. There's so many things I need to do.
What are you watching at the moment, like, apart from Buffy?
So I've just finished watching a series called The Keepers. With my girl Kristen. We've been watching that, and it's really, really harrowing, disturbing stuff. Series on Netflix. Yeah, so it's really good. It's like a documentary series. It starts looking at a case set in Baltimore, Maryland, in America, back in the early 70s, when a nun was killed and murdered. So that's how the first episode starts, but then it goes into quite deep sort of territory about behind closed doors, what was going on, and the whole mystery of the.
Sorry, no, my ceiling. I just heard a big noise, and I was like, "Whoop." All of that sounds very much like the reaction would fit.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So it was a really tough watch, but it's 7 episodes, and it's like a limited series, so it's just the one series, all like an hour long episodes. But it's really, really well made though. Like, and you just binge watch it. You can't stop watching it once you've started.
Yeah. Do you say it's a documentary series?
Documentary series, yeah.
I do find some of those spooky documentary series like really like enticing.
Yeah, it's something I think because it looks at like the psychology of serial killers and everything, or even not serial killers, but people who have just it's really, really good. And it's an unsolved case as well. Ooh. So it's quite spoilers.
I'm not going now. No, I know the ending is.
Yeah, sorry, but it doesn't spoil it too much. It's still pretty good, even if you know that. Yeah, sorry guys, God, I'm doing so much wrong. Yeah, and that's kind of I've been watching the odd film here and there, Swiss Army Man being one of them again recently. which we shall indeed talk about. Demon and We Home. Have you guys been watching anything recently? So this is the only thing about streaming, is that there is a bit of a lag with what you say and the live chat. So I think we should just sit in silence for a minute.
A moment of silence.
That worked well. I mean, we can carry on to the next subject while the guys are typing as well. That's fine. We've got all night, haven't we? No.
I know what to be.
That is so. I've been trying to keep like the film clubs within an hour. But if it we could get deep in topics. So who knows? It doesn't matter. It's just a guideline.
Fair. I love that.
Demon, you've started watching Russian Doll. Yeah, that's on Netflix, isn't it? I think.
What's that about? I get probably about a Russian doll.
I'd imagine so. Yeah, I'd imagine.
High chances.
Porcelain? Who knows?
I don't know.
Yeah, that looks pretty good though. I did see that when I was flicking through Netflix. Which tends to be the majority of what I do on Netflix, is just flicking through material and not actually watching it.
Ooh, is it a creepy one?
It looks kind of creepy. It's got.
I think I watched the trailer to it.
Okay.
A while back.
The trailer to it.
For it?
No, I think you're right. Yeah, that's fine.
I watched its trailer.
Trailer. Yes, that's it. Yeah.
I watched its trailer.
Yes. There you go, Russian Doll. Sounds really good.
There we have it, folks. We've sold it to you, I'm sure. Might be porcelain, we don't know.
Who knows? Unless, apart from those who's... no, I'm pretty sure it is called Russian Doll, Demon.
No, yeah, it is. I just googled it. It's got a woman with ginger hair.
That's the one, yeah. I can't remember her name. She's really good, though.
Oh, you know what? I can find that out for you because it's like right here.
Oh my God.
Natasha Lyonne. Natasha Lyonne.
Natasha Lyonne.
She stars as Nadia Volkov.
I see. That is Russian, isn't it? Yeah.
Sounds it. Yeah. I feel like, yeah. Can't
Natasha Lyonne. Yeah, I think so. It is like Groundhog Day at the moment, isn't it? It's
very true.
We're getting there this year at some point.
We're gonna get through this.
We're gonna get through this. We gotta get. Yep.
Gotta get. Yeah, cool.
Cool beans. So Swiss Army Man. I'll describe the plot, I think, just in case anyone hasn't seen it. So I'm reading this off a piece of paper, just so you know what if I happen to go. I can't even read my own handwriting. So it focuses on a character called Hank, who's played by Paul Dano in the film. He's at the very beginning, we see he's stranded on a desert island and loses the will to live, as we all would. Sorry, this is a terrible synopsis. Just when he's about to end it all, he can't help but notice a dead body washing up to shore. He befriends the corpse and names him Manny. Manny is played by Daniel Radcliffe. What ensues is what I would call a massively uplifting and a beautiful story about finding home and the importance of relationships and the self. How's that?
That's deep. That's good. That's a good overview.
There you go. And I don't know. I think because it kind of sounds like, with its surrealism and everything, it sounds like it could get really pretentious. But I think a big part of what's so good about it is that it never does. It kind of.
What would you describe as pretentious?
Just kind of, so because it does kind of tackle the big themes of life. It basically looks at everything, really. Like there's a point at every point in the film it talks about love and loss and death. Obviously being a big one, and I suppose existential crisis and all kinds of bits and pieces. Because when the character of Hank's talking Manny through life, and this isn't a huge spoiler, but Manny does kind of become more animated as the film goes on, and he does end up talking, and slowly kind of starts with slurred speech, but kind of Hank teaches him how to speak properly, almost like a newborn baby, really. He's kind of like teaching him everything. And there's something about that I think is really endearing about the film, that is kind of Manny's quite innocent, really, and Hank's just kind of teaching him everything, which I thought was just kind of cool, and it does lead to a lot of the humour of the film as well, which I think is what keeps it grounded.
No, I think that's something I didn't notice the first time, because I think the first time I watched it was like a couple of years ago, and I watched it with my siblings, and so it was just like plain hilarious. But I think the second time watching it, a lot of like the important questions of life like did crop up, and it was a really interesting concept, I guess, like you were saying, like teaching this grown man the concepts of life, and just like, I don't know, I think there's something really, it's just fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
The exploration of life, and like the beauty of life, and then the hardship of life, and being able to explain that. And in a way, you see, I don't know what's the level of spoiler, but you see you see development in the character as a result.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's quite powerful, actually. It speaks a lot.
Yeah, definitely. And I wasn't really expecting. I was expecting from the trailer, when I saw the trailer, I thought it looked really funny and really unique and interesting, and but I wasn't expecting it to be quite as deep as it got as well, which was definitely a big part of it. Yeah, and there's this whole scene where, quite towards the beginning, where he's speaking to Manny, and Manny just asks what's. I think Hank says something to him along the lines of, "We need to bring him back to life and figure out his past and where he came from." And then Manny just asks, "What is life?" And Hank goes, "Okay, so this is you. This is your body. This is where your brain is, and that's where you're going to remember stuff." And humans have evolved over millions of years to be this way. We do all this stuff because it helps us survive, and it's really beautifully written. The whole script, I think, is really good as well. And then it's like followed straight away by like a fart gag or something like that. Which talking of which, I think the fart humour in this is the best I've ever seen in something.
It's just done so well.
It's so good.
And like, right from the word go, I was like, oh my gosh, like the absurdity of it was like best parts. And I think because it had that like almost extreme contrast between like talking about some real deep stuff that every human can relate to, like the questions of life, and then also having like this really childish humor, it really leveled it out to be like an enjoyable but also movie that makes you think, which I think is why it's had such good reviews, is because it's got that dynamic of like almost like a paradox in a way, which I think is it's just like it makes it enjoyable. I laughed out loud on several occasions, and I was just watching it in my room on my own. It's like, this is kind of weird, but also it's fun.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly. It is, and I think it's just like the when I was doing some research into it, just like the behind the scenes, and apparently I saw on IMDb, Paul Dano initially he agreed to I think he was offered the role of Hank, and he agreed pretty quickly because the directors, by the way, it's written and directed by Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert, I think his surname's pronounced. But they're just titled as Daniels in the film. It says it's just a film by Daniels, which is very,
I like that.
Yeah, very cool. And apparently what they said to Paul Dano was they wanted to make a movie that the first fart makes you laugh and the last fart makes you cry. And I read that, I thought, yeah, and apparently he just took the role without even reading the script. The director said that to him and thought, yeah, I've got to be in this.
It's groundbreaking stuff, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. I have to be honest, the last fart didn't make me want to cry.
No, but it was sweet, in a way.
Yeah, it was endearing. An endearing fart.
Which you don't get often.
Oh my gosh, an endearing fart. Who'd have thought?
And it's kind of, the sweetness of it is really unexpected because they kind of, towards the end, they do talk about, a lot of it's kind of embracing your own individuality and not worrying about if other people, what other people think of you, and the farts kind of build a lot into that because they're talking about, Manny kind of says to Hank on numerous occasions, like, oh, you never fart in front of me, like, what's that all about, basically? And just how, Hank's trying to describe it like it's just not something that's done in society, people will think you're weird. And Manny can't understand that. He doesn't understand. He just says, I think he actually says, that's so sad. Why can't people do that? And I was really touched by that, actually. I thought it was really, like, just the whole ridiculousness of it being based around, like, a bodily function. But it was just really well done.
That stood out to me as well, actually. Like, I don't know how to not spoiler it. I've never had to spoiler free my words before.
It's difficult.
Until now.
It is difficult.
But yeah, I think talking about those played fart.
Oh yeah. So on I should explain that. So on it was me. So on Twitch. Do you know Twitch at all, Beth?
Not really.
So it's because I've got my own channel on there as well where we stream most of the time. We just do some gameplay stuff during the week. And we have sound alerts on there. So while people are watching the stream, they can play a sound alert. And there's a fart sound alert on there. And there's also It Was Me. Like from Ace Ventura, there's a quote in it. From Liar Liar. There's a quote from that when Jim Carrey goes, "It was me!" And there's a sound alert for that as well. So the guys like to play sound alerts while I'm playing games.
Amazing.
Just as a context to that.
Yeah, context is key.
Very key.
When we're talking about this film, like if anyone took this conversation out of context, endearing fun.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, I think it did like just raise good questions about like societal expectations. And like why we have particular expectations, and like as well for like different genders there are different expectations, like a woman should never fart around a guy or whatever like that. I've been quite fortunate to be in communities and friendships where it's been like funny and accepted as just like something that we can all like laugh about. But it does raise a good few questions about what type of restrictions we put in place for the sake of it. How that can steal joy sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. yeah, it is. Yeah, it does. It's quite introspective that way. It does make you think about how the world is really, and that's why I love this film so much, because its sense of humor. It's got its heart's in the right place, and it's doing it in a way that's very. I suppose it's not really a film for everyone. I understand how there's some people watch it and just don't get it at all, which I completely understand. Like I was reading on forums, and there's some people that watch it and just think they just don't. It just, yeah, it's not their kind of film at all.
Yeah.
Which I understand. It is kind of surreal in a way, and you kind of have to take it with a pinch of salt as well, and because there's a lot of questions that come up through it, like is he going insane? Is it all just in his mind? Is this actually happening? And by the end of it, you won't necessarily have all the answers to those questions. But I think it's more about kind of how the themes are explored more than what's actually happening in a narrative sense.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Yeah.
That's kind of the best way I can think of to describe it.
Yeah. Because it's quite, because it's only two members of cast for the majority, you're able to, it's quite intimate really, isn't it? Like it's quite slow paced. You know, if you take it and you compare it to like a Marvel movie where so much happens consecutively, you got crash, you got bang, you got wallop, you know, all of the stuff. Whereas this is kind of like quite slow paced, and like it has some like exciting bits and then some like low time bits. But yeah, I think there really is something really cool about that, and how it takes its time to be able to explore that sort of stuff. But you don't get bored because there's all of the other stuff like the gags and, you know, the farts or whatever to make it interesting and to spark your interest or whatever. But yeah, it's just they do really well in that storytelling aspect.
Yeah, definitely. I was doing some research into the filmmakers as well, because they just sounded really mysterious. They called themselves Daniels, and I thought, oh, have they done this? I think this is the only feature film they've done. As in feature length, they've done a lot of. So I've seen they've done a lot of music videos together. They did the music video for DJ Snake and Little John's "Turn Down for What."
Did they?
Which, yeah, so that was kind of cool. They did a music video for that, and they've worked a lot with the band Manchester Orchestra, who I've only heard a couple of songs from. They did a song called Virgin and another song called Tony the Tiger, which is an awesome song. I don't know what relevance it has to Tony the Tiger, but the song's great anyway. Yeah. So they did a music video for them called The Sunshine, which I've not heard that one, but they did some work with them, and then they've done their own short films. There was one called The Pound Hole, and there was one called Interesting Ball, which apparently just follows a ball going around this beach and just an area around the beach, and very Swiss Army Man kind of style stuff, I think.
Like quite out there.
Out there, different. Yes. That is also the best way of describing.
Unique.
Yeah. Original. Yeah, we're done. And they have got another full-length film coming out soon, I think, which I didn't really see a lot about it, but I saw that it does star Michelle Yeoh and Jamie Lee Curtis is in it as well.
Jamie Lee Curtis, who?
She's Halloween. She was in that as oh goodness, I can't remember her character.
Does she have short blonde hair?
Yes, she has done. She was in.
Does she do sing?
Sorry, say again.
Does she sing?
I don't think so. She was in Freaky Friday.
Oh, yeah, she sang a cover of a like a jazz song once. It was really good.
Ooh.
Sorry. I'm back now.
I didn't know that. Wow. I'll have to
She's got a
check
great
that
voice.
out. Laurie, thank you, Demon. Sorry, yeah, I was trying to think of the character's name. A fish called Wanda. True Lies. She's been in quite a lot of.
Yeah.
Yeah, Freaky Friday remake.
With Lindsay Lohan.
With Lindsay Lohan, that's it. Yeah. Lindsay. Why did that start? Oh yeah, because they're making a film with her. That's what.
That's my bad.
Yeah, and I was really interested by them just because it felt like it had a real fun vibe in this film, and just very almost a DIY kind of aspect to it. There was a lot that, although there is kind of some CGI and some advanced effects in it, it still felt very, because I think a lot of it is set in the woods as well, so it felt very kind of, a lot of the sets that they make, so Manny and Hank make their own bus, for example, and make their own, what other set, like their cinema as well, they just made all this stuff from scratch, so it all felt very made from practical effects as well, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Very imaginative.
Imagine low budget. Was it probably low budget?
I don't know. Should we search that? Let's see how much this cost to make. I'm intrigued.
Because it's not like it wasn't done well. It's just they probably just didn't need a big budget with the type of stuff they did.
That's it. Let's have a look here. Budget. Budget. Oh, it released only in 5 theatres in Spain. There's a little bit of trivia there. Okay, its budget was 3 million.
Wow, is that a lot?
That's pretty low for like sort of Hollywood standards. I think that is quite low. Although it didn't. I mean, it definitely made money back, but it only made worldwide in cinemas. I think it only made coming up to 5 million.
Wow.
And it's in cinemas, so that's not a huge amount actually. It didn't make a huge amount back. Welcome back, Weehan. Welcome back.
I can kind of see why.
Yeah, it's very. I think it. Yeah, even from the trailer, I think it did probably alienate quite a few people, thinking, "What is this?"
Yeah. It's kind of, it's different if you've seen it rather than the opposite way around. Like it's,
yeah, definitely. I remember when I first heard about it, my friend Mitch from college sent me the trailer and just says, we've got to go and see this because this looks insane. And I never actually got around to seeing it in cinemas because I remember it being released in cinemas, but I think it was only in cinemas for about a week here. I don't think it was out for very long. So I didn't watch it until it was on DVD. And then I kind of had a bit of a gamble and thought I'm going to buy it on DVD because I'm pretty sure it's going to be good, and yeah, it ended up being pretty cool.
It was worth it in the end.
Yeah. How did you see it first? Did you see it like at home first?
I think it must have been on Netflix at some point, maybe.
I think it was either that or Prime, maybe Amazon. Something.
Yeah,
like
it's definitely Prime to rent now.
Yeah.
I can't remember why we watched it. I think it was my brother's idea to watch it. But it was like quite a while ago, so I can't even remember. We wouldn't have bought it, so I don't think we own it. But yeah, it must have been, on some sort of online streaming service.
Yeah, that's all it is nowadays.
It all is. I haven't held a DVD in years.
Long gone are the days of the VHS.
Though, to be fair, I did watch the Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring extended edition the other day, and that was on DVD.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I remember watching those on video.
On like video.
Yeah. The chunky bits.
The VHS.
VHS. Yeah.
I did used to use them too, but it was very early on in my childhood.
Same. I think there's something about, sorry, going a bit off topic, but there's something about a VHS when they get kind of crackly and like the tape's been a bit worn out. There's something about it that's really I'd still like watching them.
Really?
Yeah, I mean I haven't watched them for ages. I don't have a VHS player here in my flat. I think my mum's got one in her loft somewhere. So I'm kind of tempted to bust it out and see if we've got any videos left.
I feel like they'll start selling for like 10 times the amount at some point. Because like that's just how things seem to go round. And like, you know, record players, they went out when CDs came in, and now record players are in.
Back in again. Vinyl.
Vinyl, exactly.
That's it, yeah. Demon
The
says, still have all Buffy and Angel on VHS. Yes, you need to keep those as well. For nostalgic, sentimental reasons, if not for financial.
Yeah, because like sell them in years.
Yeah. Woo! Make it rain.
Make it rain.
Yeah, so I think kind of talking about the behind the scenes a bit. I loved the makeup like on Daniel Radcliffe. I thought was really cool. Just kind of like his eyes kind of like glued together for quite a while of it because he's just because he's kind of dead. He's totally dead, dude.
He totally did.
So I saw the makeup artist, like the key makeup artist on this film was Leslie Devlin. Who's done a lot of makeup work for the Hunger Games films, and and for films like Donnie Darko and stuff like that, which was quite interesting. The music plays a massive part in it. Even like with the characters, they just kind of start humming. And just kind of like bum bum ba bum bum ba, and then the music starts playing, and I thought that was really cool that the characters kind of initiate the music in the film.
Yeah, I was wondering whether Daniel Radcliffe would have sung any of the songs, but I think I had a look on the Amazon thing because then it has like a little notification. It tells you who sang it. I don't think it was, but it did sound like him when the actual soundtrack came in. I was like, maybe Daniel Radcliffe can sing.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think he did. Sorry.
The thought's there though.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun dun dun. And there's the really cool one when he's kind of carrying him up the hill towards the end, and he's kind of like ba 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 ba, and he's really excited.
It's so cute.
It's so cute. So the composers of the film are Andy Hull and Robert McDowell, who are actually from the band Manchester Orchestra, who the directors have worked with before, which I thought was kind of cool. So that's kind of cool that they've branched out to do some film composing as well, because they feel very... It's not your typical kind of film score stuff. Like it is kind of songs kind of interwoven in the film, which I really liked.
Makes it quite insular, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like movie as a whole, without having... I don't know. Yeah. Again, it comes back to that whole like you feel almost drawn into their story because everything's so drawn in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like the Jurassic Park theme even comes up in it, which I thought was really sweet. And they when that first comes up, I think Hank starts going da-na-na, and then Manny's like da-na-na-na, and they're like yeah da-na-na, and then Hank's like Jurassic Park, right? And Manny's like what?
Yeah.
He was just singing along with him.
So cute. He's so lovable.
He's so cool. Oh, he's great. Even that, just like he's a dead body that comes back to life, and they make him such a full of life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think so. I suppose we should say so. The Swiss Army Man, the actual title of the film. The reason it's called that is so he uses Manny as a Swiss Army Man. Like he comes in handy for all sorts. So when he first meets him, he uses him as a jet ski, propelled by his own farts. So that's a great start to the film.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and speaking of which, the opening titles are just so epic. With with Hank just getting on the back of Manny and just like yeah.
That's what I love so much. Is it it's like he just pulls the engine on, I was like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious.
It's so good, and the music and it's so good. It's really, and that's the first 5 minutes, and that's just kind of an inkling of what the rest of the film's going to be like. Demon, is this movie yes, I'd say it's a comedy for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a mixture of stuff. It's a bit of a drama as well, kind of like it is. It does get kind of serious at points, but not for very long. Then it gets kind of funny again.
I think on IMDb, I think the two I remember it saying as like categories was drama, comedy, then drama.
Yeah,
and there was another one, but yeah, definitely a comedy, just with like strong undertones of life message.
Yeah, and it is
also
really funny.
I genuinely it never clicked to me why it was called Swiss Army Man until I started watching again, and I was like, oh, like ding. He uses it for lots of different things. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's it.
It never even occurred to me. I just thought it was a wacky name for a wacky film.
Yeah, which it kind of is as well. But there's
True.
I have to mention this. I'm very sorry, Beth, but I've got to mention this part of it because I thought it was so funny. You know what it's gonna be.
I completely forgot about it, and I was like, oh.
So there's this. I don't want to give it away too much because part of the how funny it is because it's cut so unexpected. But basically, he has a compass penis.
Just telling it to him straight. Yeah.
Which kind of is a spoiler, really. But I'm not going to give away too much of the intimate details because there is the first scene that it comes up is so funny. When you discover how it's so good.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. And there's this part when Hank's kind of Manny asks like, I can't remember quite how they get onto it, but there's like a swimwear magazine, and Manny's asking, well, what's underneath the lingerie, you know? And then Hank goes, well, there's boobs and they're naked bodies.
Vaginas.
Vaginas, yeah, that's it.
I'll fill it in for you.
Yeah, that's it. And Manny goes, whoa, I'm sensing something going on with my boobs. They're going crazy. And at first Hank's like, oh, and then he listens, and it's his heart going, and he's like, oh, right, okay. Something's going on with my boobs.
I It's just, and what got me is like how long that scene went on for as well.
Oh, yeah, it's a long scene, isn't it?
It just keeps going.
Yeah, and just when you think it's coming to a crescendo, it's like, oh no, okay, the compass, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be with you for the rest of the movie. So fuck it.
Deal with it.
Deal with it. Indeed.
Um,
Indeed. Yeah, that tickled me. That did.
Oh, Demon, the trailer's worth watching first, I think, just to kind of give you a sense. If what we're talking about is completely confusing you, then give the trailer a go and it will probably confuse you even more, and then watch the film because it's really good.
I agree.
Yeah.
It will come, but for good reason.
Exactly.
Oh.
What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, so the when I was reading more about this, apparently Daniel Radcliffe insisted in the film that he was in every shot that he was involved in, rather than having a stunt person or anything. So they had to have it sometimes because some of it was too dangerous, and like there's a lot of fire wielding stuff that goes on in it that they couldn't have Daniel Radcliffe in it, which is great as well. But even if the scene required like a fake dummy or something for the certain shot, he insisted that he was the one that was tossing the dummy and just kind of doing something with it because he wanted to be involved that much. So that was kind of sweet as well. I thought that was pretty cool.
I respect that.
Yeah.
It would be a shame, wouldn't it, to be cast in a movie and then be like, well, half of it's going to be a dummy that looks like you.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm an actor.
I'm an actor.
I can do it.
Thespian. A connoisseur of the arts.
Indeed. I saw that he took it to, where did he take it? He took it on press tour with...
Oh, sorry.
He took his dummy on the press tour, and apparently he rode it in roller coasters. He took it next to him.
Oh, that's so cool.
Legendary move.
What a ledge.
What a ledge.
Yeah. He's been in some... I mean, we kind of have to talk about Daniel Radcliffe and his progression from the Harry Potter series. Harry Potters are great. Anyway, if are you a Potterhead?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm a... Just throwing that out there.
There you go. An OG.
An OG, yeah. I'm in Harry Potter's class.
Yeah.
Group thing. It's the Potterhead.
Gang.
Doesn't even know. Gang. No, I watched the movies growing up, and then I listened to the books while I was doing my GCSE art. So I got a good appreciation, and my friends from school like absolutely love Harry Potter. Like, yeah.
It's a nice community.
It is.
Yeah.
Legends. Yeah. We move on to after that. What was his like initial breaking out of Harry Potter role?
I don't know if it was the first one, but I remember the first one I saw was The Woman in Black.
Oh, of course.
Which was kind of the first big, like, oh wow, he's in like a horror movie. That's cool.
Yeah. That was a good role, probably.
Yeah, and I really liked that film. I thought it was really good. Yeah.
I can't handle it. I can't handle the horror. And it's low down on the horror levels, and it's not even a horror, it's a thriller. It's like it's a young teen thriller. And I was like, I saw The Woman in Black in my room for like the next 4 months.
It is pretty.
Never again.
For a 12A here in the UK, so PG-13 in like the US, it was pretty high end. In that certificate though, like it was actually pretty. It kind of had a moment in it that was pretty violent, and I was thought, whoa, okay. And it's a very jump scary film, so it kind of there is moments that jump out at you, and I thought that's pretty. I mean, I'd like to think parents wouldn't take their young child to go and see it because it's the woman in black. You kind of know what you're going to see.
Yeah.
But apparently, there were reports people did, like people went for family viewings because they thought, oh, it's the guy from Harry Potter. Let's go,
No.
And they got major complaints about it because they went in. Of course, it's really scary.
They should have looked up what they're watching.
Yeah, exactly. I always thought, yeah. Demons. So don't forget to watch it. I need to watch Jungle. So that's another Daniel Radcliffe film, Jungle, which I haven't seen yet.
What's the vibe?
So Demon was it's kind of like a thriller. I think he kind of gets. I think he gets stranded in the jungle, and I could be wrong, but I think it is based on a true story.
Googling it.
Yeah, I love the name as well. It's just called Jungle. It's great.
Oh yeah, that was kind of recent, 2017.
Yeah, I think it's on.
Oh,
Prime.
You know what he was in recently? He was in that one where he played a South African, the escape from
Pretoria, was it? I think
something like that.
Yeah,
Good, actually.
I
really like that.
Oh, I need to see that. Okay.
Yeah, and his accent was all right. It was pretty good.
Very
I was
good,
impressed.
Yeah. So I think probably out of all the actors, like the kid actors from Harry Potter, he's probably. I mean, I know Emma Watson's doing quite a lot as well, but I think he's probably branching out a little bit more and kind of doing a lot more different stuff. A lot more different.
Yeah. Lots more stuff.
Lots more different things.
Nice.
I speak the good words.
I love it. I speak the good words. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Great sentence.
Demon. I used to watch all the horror movies as a kid. What were your favourites, Demon? Did you have like favourites when you were younger? I love this topic. I think it's an interesting topic because my ex-girlfriend really didn't like horror films. She really wasn't into them at all. And we'd had this conversation just saying that it's because she wasn't really exposed to them as a kid, so just naturally it wasn't really ever a thing. I think we've even spoken about this, Beth, before, like briefly. I think we might have just somewhere along the line was saying, because I remember you saying like it wasn't really your vibe either, and I think it is kind of. I remember my dad just showing me like not horror films, but like the Terminator and Predator and stuff like that when I was a kid, because he was a massive Arnold Schwarzenegger fan, and that gets pretty violent. And I remember seeing that when I was pretty young, and being. I wasn't a little bit scared. Like I was kind of like, oh, it's kind of not seen anything like this before. But it's there was something more that was. It was a compulsion then to kind of go out and try and watch more extreme stuff after that, and I turned out fine. So don't know what you mean.
Yeah, I imagine it does make a big difference. I mean, everyone's upbringing always kind of just it does shape you as a person, doesn't it? So that doesn't surprise me really. But I don't have an interest in it. I'm like, no, I'm all right. I'd rather do something else, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like ordering Diet Coke and complaining it's not full fat because it's Coke.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. Very accurate.
That is a very accurate point.
Yeah. Oh, that's true, Wee Home. You're massively into horror now. Okay. Good point.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah.
Did you ever see Goosebumps, Beth? That was like the kids.
Nah.
It was like a kids show that was. scary stories.
I watched The Goonies.
Yeah, Goonies is awesome. Goonies for
Super
life.
scary. Yeah, never really did.
Yeah, that's cool.
Even thrillers, like suspense dramas, I'm like, I'd rather not. You know, I can watch so many other things that I don't have to feel unnecessary stress. Like, you know, some people get a kick out of it.
Yeah, it's
But
like
I
an
think it
adrenaline
drains me.
rush almost.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't do that.
Yeah.
Just like, no.
I mean, I hate roller coasters. Like, I'd really rather not go on them. So horror movies is kind of my alternative.
Yeah, fair.
I guess. I'd really rather not go on them. Thank you very much.
I'd really rather not.
Do I have? Oh, okay then. Demon agreed. If they try and remake Goonies, I riot.
I think they will. Like, I think it's just bound to happen.
Oh, I imagine so. There's been this debate about Harry Potter, kind of bringing it round full circle. Will they remake those in the future? Like, however many decades down the line. I don't know. I don't know if they will. I think it's going to be they are kind of timeless. I'd like to think
that. I feel like both of those are timeless.
And Goonies, yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine them recreating them either.
Yeah, so I like it. I like it when the conversation kind of goes off topic and then you bring it back. Though I can't like that. That's what it's all about. Yeah, you can't contain us.
No.
Nah. Are we home? I wasn't for a minute suggesting they are. I hope they do and make everyone LGBT. That'll be what it is. It'll be very, very, PC and kind of, very. And I'm all for that. Obviously, I love all that. I'm all for that. But there is certain things, like we talked about this before in streams, saying about like the Ghostbusters remake, for example. I personally quite liked it. I thought it was kind of funny. Nowhere near as good as the original, but it was still kind of funny. But I think I agree with the guys were saying that they tried too hard to sort of have an all-female cast and make it like very in your face about just kind of shoving that sort of feminist side into it, which is fine, obviously, but it kind of, when it becomes the focus is on that too much, then it kind of detracts from the enjoyment of it as a overall piece of entertainment, I think.
Yeah. I mean, how cool would it be if, like, instead of having to remake something that's already been done and sort of solidified, that like just more and more opportunities for women to take on complex and interesting roles. I feel like that would work so much more for like the progression of feminism and equality, because then you're saying like we're equal but we don't have to be the same. Like we can go and do stuff that's different and we can give more opportunities because we now realize that why shouldn't we, and then you can start creating like a normality rather than trying to like one up each other. You can just be like, well, we're setting a new system and a new culture in the film industry, which is that we love women acting and we think we want to like build that up. Like, wouldn't that be cool? Which I think is happening.
Yeah, totally.
And maybe we just needed to go through that stage where there were loads of remakes with women in the center for then everyone to calm down a bit and be like, why don't we just give them new and exciting different roles that explore different universes, different worlds? So yeah,
I agree. I think demons, it's a very sore topic.
How dare you?
Yeah. It was fun. It was kind of stupid, but it was fun. It's my stance on it. Yeah, and I agree with you, Beth, completely. I think it's I think it's going in a really awesome way, and that's in terms of equality for everyone. Obviously, there's some really great films being made with black lead characters, and black filmmakers are getting more exposure now, which is great as well. And I think I'm hoping it's all leading to a point where it is becoming true equality, and it's kind of becoming that it really then doesn't matter what your gender is, or the colour of your skin or anything. And we just make great movies and then it's kind of like that. And obviously that's just looking at it from a film standpoint, but
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got very political there all of a sudden.
Oof.
Oof. Oof. Swiss Army Man farts and stuff. Yeah. And that's all it amounts to, innit? It's life's all a big bunch of farts. Even when you die.
What was it they were talking about? What was it? Everyone poops when you die.
Yeah, that's it.
Poop. You turn into poop, and everyone steps in your poop, and then they. And then it's just like
it goes on and on.
Yeah.
And then there was this whole bit about what was it that it's there's this quite dark sequence in the film when it's both, not a massive spoiler, both characters kind of fall out. It's sort of talking about the more depressing aspect of life, kind of like it's all coming to an end, and Manny's getting really down about it, and like looking at what the purpose of it all is, and gets into this really, really well-made sequence, actually, where it's kind of quite an oppressive sequence all of a sudden, and there's a lot of really interesting kind of imagery going on there. But there is this part that comes out of it when they're, again, back onto the poop thing, and saying, like, yeah, but we'll turn out as poop, and then isn't it kind of cool that then we'll meet each other, and we'll just kind of get mixed up with everyone else's, poop shit, and then we'll just meet together, and it'll be great. And then Manny's like, yeah, you're right. I like that. So it's again, that's what it all comes down to. Yeah.
And again, like, they're talking about some really interesting life stuff, but in a very like humorous way, which kind of sparks the question without giving really an answer, but it like just makes you think, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, exactly. It's done in a really smart way.
Yeah.
I was listening to a random Halloween playlist sometime back, and Ghostbusters came on, and I swear it's such a camp song. Go back and listen to the lyrics, sexual references in it. I'm trying to think. How are you going to call Ghostbusters if there's something strange in the neighborhood?
Are they talking about the original, the OG?
I think so. Yeah, I imagine so. I'm gonna have to. I literally can't remember the rest of the song apart from who are you going to call Ghostbusters?
You're gonna call
Ghostbusters. Ray Parker Jr.
I don't think I've seen any of them.
Ooh.
Popular comment. Sorry.
That's all right. I haven't seen. If we're going that route, I haven't seen. What haven't I seen? That's like a massive deal. There's been a couple that I've said to people, and they're like, "What? Like what?
What? What?
The sequels to The Godfather, I've not seen those properly. They're kind of
I haven't
big
seen the
deals.
original.
I've not seen 2001: A Space Odyssey. That's kind of a big deal. Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I haven't seen any of these either. But I'm not like a certified movie buff like you. So I feel like it's
Thanks.
not. I don't need to.
Thanks.
You, on the other hand.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah.
Well,
The pressure's on me even more now.
Yeah.
I think that kind of there was a couple of bits like I like kind of like the when Hank's trying to show Manny like cultural sort of significances in like the present day, and there's this particular bit when it pans to him going, "Oh, Super Manny, save me!" he's dressed as a damsel in distress, and he's kind of got Manny set up like Superman. And it's a very, very quick moment, and you kind of see him going, "Oh, Super Manny, save me!" And I was in hysterics laughing at that because I don't remember that bit at all.
I don't think I noticed it.
Yeah, it's very quick. Like there's kind of a narration going on at the same time, and it's kind of in the background. Which there's quite a lot that goes on in this film as well. There's quite a lot of bits that you can miss out in it.
Yeah, that's why you can watch it several.
Oh, Demon hates all the movies I just mentioned. Okay, I won't bother watching them then.
Great. You're like, oh,
saving time.
You're like, what? We love that. We love to see it.
Yeah. Busting makes me feel good. That's it. Yeah.
There it is.
That's it. That's the one. I think I've gone through all my notes. We've just kind of inadvertently done it because we just kind of we're just so good at this. So
organic conversation, am I right?
yeah, exactly. So guys, I don't know if we've sold it to you at all. I hope it sounds at least interesting and you want to give the film a go.
Do it
do it now.
You won't regret. Do it. Sorry.
Do it.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's a great film actually, and it's kind of I'm glad I've watched it again in preparation for this evening. Beth, thank you for mentioning it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you have also mentioned a couple of others which I think we should tackle at some point in the future.
Agreed. I can't remember what I said.
Okay,
but I'm pretty sure.
I'll say one of them. So you said about the Hunt for the Wilder People.
Such a good movie.
Yeah,
that is one of my. We've got a couple of people from my uni as well who absolutely love it. So I'm like,
yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. I've got to admit, I watched it and I thought it was good.
But
I didn't think it was amazing. I'm sorry, but this is why I want to watch it again because you've recommended it again. So I feel like I've missed something with it, so I need to watch it again.
I think it's one of those ones where because I have quite a few like in jokes with friends about it, like it almost boosts the movie in my mind. Like because we quote it all the time and like it's like it pulls us, then it's become better.
Yeah.
It's like mature.
Yeah. It's like a fine wine.
It's a fine wine. Or a cheese.
With cheese.
If that's your thing.
Or both, even. Yeah.
Or both. Wine and cheese night.
Yeah. I do love Sam Neill's great, though. He's great in anything.
He's very diverse.
Yeah, very much so. And I can't remember the kid's name in it, but he was great as well.
Yeah. Don't know his name either.
Yeah.
He's top notch.
Top notch. Good guy. Nice guy.
Yeah.
Been down the pub for a few bevies, you know.
Yeah. If he's old enough. Unless you're talking about
he must be old enough now.
Hopefully. Probably. He's probably like 20 now.
Yeah.
Something stupid.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so that's Swiss Army Man, guys. Oh, cool. I'm glad you guys want to watch it. Yeah, it's really good. It's fascinatingly hilarious and wonderful, and makes you feel all warm and toasty inside.
No.
There you go. I think that's about it, guys. Do you guys have any recommendations? Do you like to recommend anything? I know Demon said at the beginning about what was the name of it? Russian Doll.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Sorry, that took me a minute. That sounds really cool. And Beth, you'd said about, was it Anne with an E?
Yeah.
That sounds really cool.
I need to finish that.
Mm-hmm. So that's a couple of series. More series I need to add to the list. I'm terrible with series. I'm better at films. I can sit down and watch a film and right, that's the film ticked off the list. But series, you've got to dedicate time to, you know.
Investment.
Exactly. So I need to get better at that. Hashtag goals.
Nice. That's a good goal. Get better at binging TV series.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Stop being active.
Yeah.
Hey Beth, well, thank you so much for joining, Beth. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having.
It's always a joy to speak to you, and it's just really nice to have you on the stream as well, on a film club, which is really cool.
I'm so excited that I'm here. Yay!
Watch Buffy. I will, Demon. Yes. Beth, have you seen any Buffy the Vampire Slayer at all?
I think I might have watched a trailer for it. Again, don't think it's really my vibe. If you watch the trailer for Anne with an E, you'll see that my vibe is very particular.
Okay.
I did watch The Queen's Gambit. That was very good.
Ooh.
I'm into a range, but yeah. I think I'm trying to whittle down. I don't really like watching too much TV because I want to be like present and like with the people around me.
Yes.
So I have to be very particular, but yeah.
Yeah, and that's hard. I'm going to get kind of deep again, but it's kind of. I know what you mean. It's hard to. Because I mean, I love films and stuff like that, so I do get really passionate about it, and sometimes I do get quite introverted and almost think a lot about stuff like that, like about the next review I'm going to write or next films to watch, films coming out this year I haven't seen yet, and kind of like, oh, that's a cool one, and then sometimes I do have to snap myself out of it and get back in the moment with the people I'm with, and it's kind of I'm still figuring out balancing my hobby and like my passions with my other passions like my friends and family, and it's I think everyone I think everyone goes through the same sort of thing, like trying to balance different aspects of their life.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's important. That was the elbow. It's okay.
I'm okay. And breathe.
Yeah.
That was great. We Home, Sweet Home sounds awesome. That looks really good on Netflix, actually. Yeah, I need to watch that.
Huh? Sweet Home.
Sweet Home. Oh yeah, check out the trailer for that, Beth, and see what you think. It looks pretty manic.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I'll watch it after this.
We Home also says, isn't there going to be a season 2 of Queen's Gambit?
Kind of. But
yeah,
it was very successful, so I feel like that's the type of thing they would do a season 2 of.
Yeah. This is why I wish to be a vampire. Infinite time to achieve everything. Yes, like Dorian Gray. Demon said, so good to see you, Beth.
It's so good to see. Well, I haven't seen you, but it's been nice.
Yeah, it's interesting getting used to it, isn't it? That's what I've been getting used to with
it is strange.
Streams. Yeah, you're kind of talking to the chat quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that'll be about it, guys. Thank you again. Thank you all so much. We Home and Demon. Anyone else who tuned in and had a view, chilled back, sat back, had a cup of tea or whatever, and watched us. I do appreciate it. It's very nice of you. And yes, Beth, it's been real as always.
Real.
Yeah. Right, now here comes the awkward moment when I have to end the stream, and I'm not quite sure exactly when it ends, so we're just going to keep having to go bye, 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 bye.
No.
You know, that general sort of thing.
I'll take my cue.
Okay.
When you start.
Okay.
When you tell me to.
Guys, see you later. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye now.
Bye now. See you later. Don't be a stranger.
Yeah. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And if I don't see you tomorrow.
Okay, I think that's